she's gone. Like, I'm seeing things falling off the sky, but I don't know what it means. I mean, as if this can't get any worse. Ah, why is everyone getting so quiet all of a sudden? Hey. Not how my Monday morning will go. Hello everyone, welcome to another Max Reviews. Today, I recently saw the latest film of the prequel of A Quiet Place Day 1. And just to address something here with the film, is not what I was hoping for. Don't get me wrong, before I get into the review, I was trying to think of some positives out of it. There were some good things in it, but here I go with this review. And just to give the obvious of the doubt of this prequel of A Quiet Place, I was going into this thinking they would explain why we had to go silent, why the creatures can't see, you know, more in depth on how it all began. But what the film does is it focuses on these new characters, but fair enough to these characters and these people in the film, because I think they put on a good performance. They're just not as good as you think. It's just like, we all remember Emily Blunt in the first two and how those first two were amazing, because obviously the first two will always stick with me and that community and fans out there for those first two films. And this is one thing I want to say out of most of the reviews, out of most content creators. So for the likes of 3C Films and like a few others, like I can't think of anything else but the top of my head, but I have seen quite a bit on 3C Films recently with a few reviews he's came out with and a few other videos. And if you just want to go and watch his videos, do go and subscribe to him. I'll put his channel in description down below. But one thing that is not sticking with me with this film is the fact that there's a few things I think that are the negatives for me personally, and that will probably be number one, the pacing. Number two would be how the story was handled. And the story, however, in my opinion, was kind of a bit disappointing. Like, and I know people are going to think the story was amazing, you know, you're seeing like, you know, on like Rotten Tomatoes, it's like 90 something on and 80 something audience score. And I see why the film did great in terms of visual of the creatures and, you know, certain parts of the narrative and the other stuff in terms of the other characters. But the one flaw I already noticed was what this prequel was going to explain. And this one really just doesn't really explain anything deep detail about why we all had to go silent, or the creatures can't see, or, you know, that type of thing. And it is strange to me that that is something no one's not even talked about. I know it's a bit of a thing to hit back here with a few content creators here is, don't get me wrong, the film's great. The overall thing in terms of what people are forgetting is what the story's trying to tell. And like, don't get me wrong, like there are certain good moments in the film. Like, number one, like I know it's not meant to be scary, because obviously it's meant to be like a bit of a drama, like thriller type of feel. That's what I felt like with this one compared to the other two. And for this one in particular, and this will probably be non-spoiler but if this video does well, I might do a spoiler video, because I might think about bringing an extra of those reviews back if you want me to do them again. So like, the film is good with its presentation. Like, the trailers really do get you interested and hyped for the film, but once you go and see it, it's watchable. Like, don't get me wrong, like, the acting is good. Like, the one thing I would give them props for is like the grand scope of it, like how it's in New York and how they use New York in a way, and how people would handle the situation if it was in New York. And I thought it was pretty clever in a way how they handled in that such scale of the film by doing it in New York, which was actually kind of cool in my opinion. That's like one good thing I would say good out of it. But, and then obviously again, the visuals, like on the creatures, that was, you know, amazing. Like, there is like, again, I'm not going into spoilers, but there is like certain parts with the creatures in it where I felt like they should have had more like screen time. Like, don't get me wrong, like, we'll get most screen time with the main characters in it, but you just don't get enough of them. Like, I'm sorry, but I thought they've shown good, but it just wasn't like enough to like get you to think like why, and you know, and I think for me, because I love like, if the story's done right, if you know the story's being handled well, or if it's storytelling on like how things happened. And this is another thing I'm not too keen with, is these prequel films, is that they don't go explaining in full detail on like how this happened, how this and that, which I already said earlier, but like, people just do it. I feel like Hollywood, or however these prequels have been handled, have just been doing it very poorly done, just to get a quick buck from your ticket experience, instead of giving you a good story on the grand scheme of things. And I think, you know, prequels for a long time have been handled pretty bad. This one is pretty just like, okay, it was a watchable. Again, good, there was good stuff. You know, characters were great, as I mentioned, visuals, creatures, and a bunch of other stuff, which I might go into detail later, if you want me to do spoiler reviews back again. I'm going to set a goal. If this video reaches 3 to 4 likes, I'll go back doing them. And if not, then fair enough. But again, my opinion, big step down. Big step down, this prequel of A Quiet Place Day One. And, you know, it's really hard to, like, go off on a film, because I know I am trying to do Danger reviews soon on this channel. And again, I'm being very critical on future projects now. So like, you may see like a switch into how content's going to be handled now on this channel, just because I'll just spill the beans here, is that I got a copyright. YouTube haven't responded whatsoever. So YouTube, please explain to me a bit more, because the only thing I would say is that there is a piece of audio I've been using since 2022. It's been on these videos for a while. It's only copyrighted one video, even though it could have been resolved, could have been handled much better, or on their side, in my opinion, because I don't think I've done anything wrong here in the situation. But it's just an audio issue. It's just like, why give me it now, since, but not like come forward a while back if it's ran out or something. So that's my kind of argument with them at the moment. So hopefully you see this video and just understand in that kind of way. But yeah, even though the film, yeah, the film in general, big step down. I'll probably, with the day one films, I'm going to rewatch them and I'm going to review them ones at some point as well. I just wanted to start off with, you know, in order, you know, like if we're talking like, you know, a prequel and then the first one and then the second, and that's how I might handle certain films in a way in these reviews, or I might just do, you know, the general thing, you never know. But yeah, this one overall, I'll probably say, I'm probably just gonna have to say it here, a 3-star. Not perfect, but again, it is a watchable film, and it's a bit of a mess as well, so just take this with a grain of salt. If this ever lightens up anyone out there to realise the story that's being told is not great, and hopefully they can understand my point of view here. But overall, I'll see you in the next video.